to a place unexpected. Would you believe after all we've projected? A child in a manger, lowly and small, the weakest of all, unlikeliest hero, wrapped in his mother's shawl, just a child. Is this who we've waited for? 'Cause how many kings step down from their thrones? How many lords have abandoned their homes? How many greats have become the least for me? And how many gods have poured out their hearts to romance a world that is torn all apart? How many fathers gave up their sons for me? Bringing out gifts for the newborn Savior, all that we have, whether costly or meek, because we believe. Gold for his honor and frankincense for his pleasure, and myrrh for the cross he'll suffer. Do you believe? Is this who we've waited for? How many kings step down from their thrones? How many lords have abandoned their homes? How many greats have become the least for me? And how many gods have poured out their hearts to romance a world that is torn all apart? How many fathers gave up their sons for me? Only one did that for me. All for you, all for me, all for me, all for you, How many kings step down from their thrones? How many lords have abandoned their homes? How many greats have become the least? How many gods have poured out their hearts to romance a world that is torn all apart? How many fathers gave up their sons for me? Only one did that for me. All for me, all for you.
How Many Kings? How Many Kings? One of my favorite of all times. One of my favorite Christmas songs. It is that season. It is a wonderful, wonderful season. It is the most wonderful time of the year. Good evening. I think I can say good evening. Don't worry, if you're shocked to see me on, I shocked myself too. Good evening, Sister Marcia. Thank you for coming on. Evening, Yeye. Good evening, Akil. Thank you so much for coming on. Yes, I am on a little earlier today, Sister Marcia, because I had actually shared last week that I would be on mommy duty this evening at the time that my show usually airs at the regular scheduled time. and I decided to just come on really quickly, just earlier than my normal time, just to reflect really quickly on what what Christmas is about, because it's just such an amazing time, and I wanted to have the opportunity to also wish you all a Merry Christmas, because if I missed today, I wouldn't get to see you guys until after Christmas. And so the plan was just to come on early today, just to get that chance of, sharing a quick Christmas reflection and just wishing you all a Merry Christmas. And then off I go to carry on mommy duties. My youngest is having his Christmas recital this evening, and yes, I have to be there. Can't miss it. So that's why I'm on early, Sister Marcia. Good evening, Charmaine. Thank you for coming on this evening. Faith Matters. If you're just joining in, take the time to like the broadcast, share it, invite someone to come on, or those who might come on later at the regular time at 7:00 and still see just the short reflection that I have for tonight. But I hope that you're all doing well. I hope that your week is off to an amazing start. I know. Did you set your Yeah, I set my clock back. I did set the time back, Sister Marcia. That is true. Too funny. But yes, I am just here. Like I said, it's an amazing season. It's a time where we really reflect on God's goodness, on why we're here, on how much God loves us. I know that the world is, there's so much going on. There's so much excitement going on around this season right now. But many times it's for the wrong reasons. We're putting our hearts and our hopes and our joys and all of that in the wrong places. And so what does Christmas mean to you? I'll be reflecting on that again. Like I said, really quickly, it's going to be a short show tonight. And just to wish you all blessings in this season. So, of course, if this is your first time coming on, Faith Matters is a platform where I do most of the talking, reflecting on our daily Christian walk, how we're being Christ's hands and feet, how we're shining his light brightly for others to see, and just how we're just living our life, how I'm living. I share from my personal reflection pages. I share from things that happen to me and how I respond to them or not from a faith perspective, and all that good stuff. And so many times you would hear me like really vent sometimes, or just share conversations that I had with the Holy Spirit. Like maybe at night I woke up super early and something popped in my head. I'm like, I need to share this. I share books that I've read, or I've been reading, or I'm currently reading, so that way you guys know. And I give insights on my takeaways from the readings that I encounter. And so that's what this platform is about. We are just here to encourage one another on this faith walk, because it's not an easy walk. It's not an easy walk. If people think because you're Christian, you say, "Oh, I'm a Christian," it's like, yay, it's fine. There are no struggles, but yes, there are struggles. It's not easy, but I can always say, I say it all the time, and I will never tire of saying it, I wouldn't trade it for the world. This is the only option for me. There's no alternative, but I love every minute of it. Is it exhausting? Yes, it is exhausting, but it's worth it, because I know what's on the other end. And so again, if you're just coming in, if this is your first time, this is what we're about. So thank you for coming on this evening. So jumping into it, before I get right into it, just want to, again, take the time to thank our sponsors, our supporters. We are a listener-supported station. It's because of your generosity that we're able to do what we do, that we can come here, that we can bring programming like this to you day in, day out. And thank you so much for doing so, for standing by us with your prayers and, of course, your financial support. If you haven't supported financially, maybe you just don't know how to go about it, you're still on the fence about it, please prayerfully consider being a supporter of your radio station today. The different ways to do so, of course, are through Cash App. For Cash App, it's the $ New Season WC. That's the $ New Season WC. You can also go straight to Zelle. Zelle, it's 954-536-1821. That's 954-536-1821 for Zelle. You can go straight to our website, newseasonfm.com. Click on the give/donate button. It'll take you right to the page where you're able to give. Those are just easy ways to do it. You can also just write us a check. We accept checks. Please mail it out to 4660 North University Drive, Lauderhill, Florida 33351. Again, that's 4660 North University Drive, Lauderhill, Florida 33351. So again, thank you for coming in. So again, like I said, we're in the season of Christmas. It is an amazing time where we're preparing our hearts. The weeks leading up to Christmas, of course, is the Advent season, and Advent is just asking us to prepare our hearts for our Lord to be born in our hearts, because we have to remember that Jesus is the reason for the season, and so we need to just really always remember that and hold on to that, and not forget that is why we are. That's why we celebrate, because again, like I said, the world will want to make us forget and think about all the presents, and we're concerned about, putting up our Christmas trees, like what are we going to cook, who are we inviting to our houses, the parties that we're going to be having, and things like that. But we need to remember that Jesus is the reason for the season. I know it sounds cliche, but it's true. He is the reason for the season. He's the reason why we are celebrating. And so let's not, while it's great to do all the other things that we're doing, it's also amazing. It's much more amazing for us to remember what our focus is, or where our focus should be, and where our hearts should be. And of course, that is on Christ, because it is all because of him. Good evening, Sister Stacy. Good evening, Sister Millicent. Thank you for coming on. And so that's what this season is about. And so jumping into it, of course, you guys know I count my days. We're right down there. It's the 352nd day. We only have 13 days left in 2023. Again, at the start of the year, I was like, oh my gosh, we still have we have 200, we have 220, we have two of this. But now we only have 13 days left in the season. And so please, where are you at? This is a time for you to take stock. It's a time for you to check in with yourself and see what you're about. You don't want the year to come to an end and you're like, oh my goodness, there's nothing. I've got nothing. So I'm going to leave it at that. That's my usual spiel. Take time to take stock. It's important for us to recognize and acknowledge and just really appreciate the process that we're taking and the steps that we're taking towards achieving the goals that we've set for ourselves. When the year started, you know what goals you set for yourselves. You know what you wanted to do, or where you wanted to be by the time this time came around. And so here we are at that point. You need to sit down and look, okay, I did this, or I was able to accomplish this, or I didn't do this for whatever reason. And so this time is time for just to take stock and just see where you're at. Again, if you're that person who's waiting to see those gigantic and humongous goals really be accomplished before you can say, this is something great that has happened to me, I like to encourage you to just really appreciate the process. Take pride in those baby steps that you've taken, because it's not easy. It's those little steps that really amounts to the big thing. You can't just things don't happen overnight. And so celebrate those little victories or those small wins that you have accomplished, and just pat yourself on the back. And if you're that person who hasn't done anything for whatever reason, you've been procrastinating, I'll do it tomorrow. Since January, you've been pushing it. Well, you're down to the wire now. Please don't push it. Today's the day that counts. Today's the day that you need to get up and do whatever it is that's in your heart to do. So I'm going to leave it at that. Take stock. Hopefully, you can be thankful for where you're at, and you can celebrate where you're at. Or you can just, say today's the day that I'm going to dig my heels in and start something before the year is out. And I'm going to leave it at that. Good talk. And so for today, of course, my holidays, I'm going to run really quickly through them. It's Bake Cookies Day. Of course, we're in that season of baking cookies and sharing all the yummy stuff. So it's Bake Cookies Day today. It's International Immigrants Day. I Love Honey Day. I love honey, actually, but today is I Love Honey Day. It's Ham Salad Day. It's Twin Day today as well. We're celebrating twins. Good evening, Sister Sandra. Thank you for coming on. Tomorrow is Holiday. like holly, the song "The Holly and the Ivy." That's one of my favorite Christmas songs too. So it's a holiday. It's also look for an evergreen day as well tomorrow. It's Hard Candy Day. Again, we're in that season of sweetness and just cookies and candies and all that good stuff, but don't need too much of them. Wednesday is Games Day and Go Caroling Day as well on Wednesday. Go caroling on Wednesday. Thursday is Crossword Puzzle Day. Don't make your bed day. So if you're that person who really doesn't like to make their beds anyway to start with, well, on Thursday, you get to just really not feel bad about it, because don't make your bed on Thursday. But if you're that person who's super like, so I need to make my bed. If I get out of it, I need to straighten it. I need to make it. Thursday, just let yourself go for a second. Just let yourself go for that day. Don't make the bed, okay? Don't make the bed that day. Friday is Abilities Day. We know our sister Yeye always talks about just how God has created all of us with all our abilities, and we're able with different abilities, right? And so it's Abilities Day, celebrating different abilities on Friday. It's Cookie Exchange Day as well on Friday. Cookie Exchange Day on Friday. So those are my holidays. Like I said, I was just going to run through them quickly. Again, we're in the week. We're leading the week that's leading up to Christmas, and this is a time where a lot of people are like just really you're shopping, you're trying to get things in order, you're trying to get your house in order, and doing all of that stuff. Again, remember, Jesus is the reason for the season. Don't do all the externals and forget what's on the inside, what's really important. And that's what the season of Advent that we're in is really about, preparing us and reminding us to just really take stock of where you're at and see what we're doing as we're cleaning and preparing our homes and decorating and buying presents and thinking about others. We should also not neglect cleaning our hearts and making sure that when Christ comes, he will find a place that's suitable for him to dwell in. Let him be born in our hearts. Let him be born in our hearts, and so we're able to carry him out and take him to others. So what does Christmas mean to you? What does Christmas mean to you? Christmas means so many things to me. I don't know about you, but for me, Christmas is a constant reminder. Christmas is a reminder of God's goodness and God's love for me. Christmas is a time of sharing. It's a time of giving. It's a time of reflecting, a time of just really sitting back to just really think of how good God is and how much he loves us. This is the basis of everything for us. As Christians, we need to remember that at the core of what we celebrate, is Christ. And so he is the one that we should be lifting up in this time. People would say, oh, happy holidays, well, yeah, but I would always say Merry Christmas, because it is about Christ. We need to start really, pushing the Merry Christmas forward, and not just, happy holidays, because it is about Jesus. However much it's being commercialized, however much it's been like turned around or changed to accommodate or to cater to those who want to use it for their own means, or use it as a chance or an opportunity or time to just do whatever they want. We need to always remember that Christmas is all about Christ. It's about Jesus. He was born for us. He was born for our salvation. He came down for our salvation. God sent his son. He sent him that, and he came as a baby. And so that's what the meaning of Christmas is. That's what's at the core of Christmas. But personally, as you carry on in life, as you carry on your day to day, what does it mean to you? How are you able to translate that, or how are you able to share that message with others? How are you able to tell others about, what Christmas is? Sometimes we think that it's giving gifts, right? Just really showing people. It's not about gifts. While the gifts are important, I think the greatest gift that we can give, or the greatest gift that we can share with others, is that gift of Christ. And how do you share that gift of Christ, especially at this Christmas time? It's just being loving. You show Christ's love. Let his love radiate in and through you during the season of Christmas, especially to those who are. There are a lot of people who this season usually brings a lot of grief. It carries a lot of grief for several reasons. And so being loving, being kind, showing the face of Christ to others, shining his light brightly for others to see. We have this little tradition in our house, in our home, I would say, where every year, of course, they outgrow it, but I have one in the house who still kind of believes in it. We all know the story about the elf on the shelf, and many families really have that tradition, and we started that too. We've been doing that for a while. My oldest has outgrown that, like I said, but my youngest is still very much into it. And so we have our little elf called Tiny. And I think it was a few weeks ago I was sharing here, and Akil was laughing because I said to him, I said, well, my elf is Christian. And so every year Tiny comes, and my son looks forward for Tiny coming. Like, if Tiny doesn't show up on time, it's like, what's happening? Why is Tiny not here? But Tiny always comes, and every time Tiny comes, Tiny leaves little notes every single day. And he starts counting down, and for every day, Tiny will challenge my son to do something nice, to do something the last couple of days, one challenge or encouragement I would say was to read Psalm 8 and memorize verses 1 and 9. So reading that, so he would give him little challenges like that. Another day, I think today, we're 8 days left, right? So today he left a note saying, okay, I want you to spend 10 minutes in prayer, and list 10 people to just pray for. It's little things like that, little acts of kindness. The other day, Tiny was like, okay, can you pick 4 kids in school and just show acts of kindness, whatever it could be, by saying something nice to them, just being helpful. So it's like, that's the spirit of Christmas for us. That's the spirit of Christmas, and that's what we should be promoting, or that's what we should be encouraging in our homes and in our kids, and just really telling them, because that's the way of pushing and showing the world who Christ is. By the way we live our lives, by the way we share, by the way we speak to people, just being kind. I say many times here that sometimes it's not about giving somebody it's not about giving money, it's not about the material things, but just being able to share your heart with someone, being able to say, I'm here for you. I'll be that listening ear. I'll be that person. If you need a hug, I will give you a hug. One of my favorite quotes, which you all know by now, and I think you guys should all already have, memorized it as well, is by Mother Teresa. Kind words can be short and easy to speak, but their echoes are truly endless. Kind words can be short and easy to speak, but their echoes are truly endless. So sometimes it could just be a kind word that could just change someone's life, change the trajectory of their life, or just even change their countenance just because of a kind word that you said. And so it's really important for us to remember that you are Christ's vessel. You are the light, you are his light, and you need to shine, especially at this Christmas season, and especially to those who do not know him, to those who don't feel loved at this time, to those who may not even want to be around people during this time. Be that light for them. Somebody might just need you to sit down with them and just be there, be that light, be that companion for them. So whatever it is, hopefully you're able to reflect on what Christmas truly means to you in this season, and you're able to share it with others, and just in that time of sharing, in the time of your celebration, you're able to just bring them and draw them closer to God. So my encouragement tonight in this season of Christmas is, as we prepare the outward signs, as we run around and try to do all the things that we're doing on the outside, let's not forget to prepare our hearts. How sad will it be if our Lord comes and everything, our homes are pretty, our decorations are up, and everything is looking great, but then our hearts are not ready. So as you're doing all of this, remember the reason for the season is Jesus. And so prepare your hearts that he may be born in your hearts, and that you can share him in this season and beyond. So on that note, I just really want to wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas, you and all your families, and just remember to spread that light, to share that light, and to shine it brightly for others to see. So I will be heading out in a little bit to go, like I said, perform mommy duties tonight. But enjoy your holiday. Taking us out tonight will definitely be one of another favorite of mine. It's called Seasons. It was the cover that I did thanks to Pastor Steve, who made me sound good in it. I'm going to share that with you all this evening as that takes us out. Again, thank you so much for coming on this evening, Sister Marcia. Thank you. Yes, you decorate white and the coconut tree. Oh, that's really beautiful. That's an amazing tradition. Yeah, that's really, so it's like little things like that, just really keeping Christmas simple and just really spending time with loved ones and families and just really showing love in this season. So again, thank you so much for coming on tonight. And like I said, I will see you again, God's willing, next week, Monday, for another episode of Faith Matters with me, Nina and Yeye, thank you. Sister Sandra, thank you. Sister Marcia, thank you for coming on. Sister Stacy, I appreciate you. Akil, thank you for coming on. Jermaine, thank you for coming on. Rev, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you. And so taking us out, like I said, is Seasons. This is the cover that I did. Again, many thanks to Pastor Steve for making me sound good. And Seasons will take us out. Wishing you all a very Merry Christmas. And we'll see you all on Monday, same time. Next time it will be 7 o'clock and not our early time. So have a good one, everyone. God bless you.
Like the frost on the road, winter comes for us all. Oh, how nature acquaints us with the nature of patience. Like a seed in the snow, have been buried to grow, for your promise is loyal. From sea to sequoia, and I know, though the winter is long, even richer the harvest it brings. Though my waiting prolongs, even greater your promise for me, like a seed. And I believe that my season will come. Lord, I think of your love like the low winter sun. And as I gaze, I am blinded in the light of your brightness. Like the fire to the snow, I'm renewed in your warmth. Melt the eyes of this wild soul till the barren is beautiful. And I know, though the winter is long, even richer the harvest it brings. Though my waiting prolongs, even greater your promise for me, like a seed. And I believe that my season will come. I can see the promise, I can see the future. You're the God of seasons, and I'm just in the winter. If all I know of harvest is that it's worth my patience, then if you're not done working, God, I'm not done waiting. You can see my promise even in the winter, 'cause you're the God of greatness, even in the manger. For all I know of seasons is that you take your time. You could have saved us in a second, instead you sent a child. Though the winter is long, even richer the harvest it brings. seed you sown for the sake of us all. From Bethlehem soil grew Calvary's sequoia. Oh,